You teared up because the barista screwed up your order. You finished a pint of fudge ripple ice cream in front of the freezer. You yelled at your desk neighbor, Leslie, for breathing too loud. This time, don't go and buy another box of tampons. Question what you thought you knew about periods. Question what you buy, what you use, what the usual way, right way is to deal with it. Revolutionize. Switch it up. Try the Diva Cup and see how it can make dealing with your period a whole lot better.
Hello, Wildcats. It's your boy Kev coming at you with another quick disclaimer here before we start. Just letting you know that we are a comedy and crime podcast. So even though we cover many serious cases and true events, we do like to throw in some dark humor and inappropriate jokes every now and then, and a little bonus disclaimer for this episode because people that are easily offended probably won't like this one. We do get a little dicey, and we could give you a couple of upset tummies that you might need to drink some of that pink sauce to make that belly pain go away. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. Thank you everyone for listening. Be good, stay safe, and laugh at the dark stuff. Hashtag Wildman. Oh, here comes my puppy. I'm gonna play at my puppy real quick. Here comes my puppy with his ball like always. Wants me to throw it in the yard. So I toss it very hard. He doesn't chase it very far because he saw a squirrel and now he's done.
Alright, fellas, like we practiced.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Come on down. Come on down. Hanging with the brothers tonight, yeah. Come on down to the Brothers Commonplace tonight.
Alrighty, welcome everyone to the Brothers Commonplace, a comedy and crime podcast where we cover monsters, murders, mysteries, and more. And today we are bringing you the infamous myth about female orgasms.
Oh, hell yeah, we are.
No, we're not. But before we jump into today's topic, I want you to meet these very, very good, extra good McNugget boys.
What's going on, guys? This is Tim, or Hillary Stank, as they call me when I leave Chipotle's bathroom.
So you guys have heard of like the Office and the UK Office, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
I used to be in one called the Alligator Office. I won an award. It was the Crocodile Dundees.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I love that.
It's two.
I love that.
It's
Toof. And it's your boy Kev, a.k.a. the Dirty Dog, and you can probably tell just by hearing me speak, I am recording with a big old smile today. Had a pretty good day, went on a first date last night.
Oh, shit.
And went pretty well. We went to the White House. Well, we didn't exactly go to the White House, but we did eat McDonald's, so it was pretty much the same experience.
Hell yeah, dude. And the ice cream machine was still broken.
And then we went to whitehouse.com.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What do you call it when what do you call a girl who overdoses and dies in Donald Trump's Oval Office? Amy Whitehouse.
Oh, yeah.
Holy, dude, I don't know how I didn't see that coming.
Oh, yeah.
So, alrighty, it's time to hold those loved ones tight because you never know when the inevitable will strike, much like it did in today's case. That's right. Today we are bringing you the Robison Family, a.k.a. the Good Hart Murders case. And it's going to be hard to say this name without saying Robinson.
Yeah.
But it's Robison without an N before the S. Or it's Robison. I don't know. I think it's Robison.
I don't know. To research this, I watched Meet the Robinsons, so I'm fucked. I'm not going to know anything.
I just watched the Swiss Family Robinson, but I only watched the scene with that kid who had like my haircut, who was riding that big fucking turtle.
Yeah.
And then I just jacked it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I only watched it for like, I don't know, 12 seconds.
Yeah, you didn't know, but I was actually jacking it to you jacking it to that. So that's pretty cool.
And then my dad was in the next room jacking it to the movie Jack.
But only every scene that Bill Cosby's in.
I don't know anything about this story, but whoever dies in it deserved it because they missed free throws for the Thunder. Andre Robison?
No.
Whatever his name is?
That's not staying. That's not staying, but I do like the joke.
I don't even know who that basketball player is.
He sucks. So that's right. Today's case, it is a sad and mysterious story about the mass murder of a family. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, is there anything that you good boys would like to mention before we jump into this case?
Two.
Nope.
So alrighty, before we jump into the tragic and brutal story about this family, let's first talk a little bit about the place where it all went down. I'm talking about a place called Good Hart, Michigan.
Damn it, I thought it was Aspen.
Oh, it should have been. So yes, Good Hart, Michigan. More like good God. Our heart has been ripped out and stomped on again and again by the Ohio State Buckeyes, Michigan.
That is fucking right. In Flint, Michigan being just fucking disgusting.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So, I'm just joking, though. Thank you for peppers. I will say that. So, you sexy little Wolverines.
Man, I want to say this line. So, I love the Ohio State's dominance over Michigan, you know. We just bend them over and give it to them. One man's ass is another man's pleasure.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What do you got to say about that, Dad? Hell yeah, son, spread that ass. All right, Dad. Open that ass up like a goddamn laptop.
Oh, my God.
All right, Dad.
Dude, I've never seen your dad open a can of whoop ass and eat out that meat like that Spam he had last night.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, this isn't good. We're just starting off, but my fucking voice is killing me already. And I'll be honest, the reason why is because I was practicing my Jamie Madrox voice just in case that somehow came up tonight.
Oh, shit. Well, it has to now. Also, the spam that T was talking about is just from all your dad's poker accounts online.
Fuck yeah, dude. So here we go, on to Good Hart. So Good Hart, it's located way up north, and it is an unincorporated community in the township right on the shore of Lake Michigan. And this next part was taken from 99wfmk.com, which is, I'm pretty sure, just like a fucking radio station, but it had some good information on there somehow.
All right, yeah.
Wait, what was the 99 called?
99wfmk.com.
Oh, okay. I was like thinking the abbreviation. It's like 99 fuck me. Never mind.
Okay. So in 1877, Good Hart had a population of around 100 people, with about 75 of those being Native Americans. The small town had a school, 2 stores, a Catholic church, a blacksmith, a doctor, and a post office.
If it had all those Native Americans, that means it had 2 liquor stores? 2. It's a stereotype. Gotta play off it.
All right.
And it also had a casino.
Not yet, but they will soon. No, I'm just joking. And by 1905, the entire Native American population had left. So nice job, you fucking honkies. Damn white people.
No, we're all idiots.
We suck, dude.
Yeah, we're fucking stupid. We got small dicks.
We ruin everything. We ruin the Native Americans. Whenever we remade The Wiz as the Wizard of Oz, that fucking sucked.
Dude, me and Kevin used to have another The Wiz. As when I'd stay the night at his house, we'd always wake up early in the morning to hear his dad's fucking beer piss. And we would play a game where we hold our breath until he was done pissing, and we'd always pass out.
There used to be like another friend, but they died.
Sometimes in the morning, I'll be taking a piss. Like, I'll make sure that the entire house is still asleep, and I'll creep into the bathroom to take my morning piss.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'll hear my dad on the other side of the door go, "Hey, son, I can tell how small your dick is from that weak piss stream."
He's like, I haven't seen a stream that weak since you had that dial-up internet streaming them NBA games.
Yeah, I was fucked up. I crashed at Kevin's house one time, and he could tell that I was sitting down peeing, so that sucked.
Oh, it's like the fucking scene from Signs where he puts that butcher knife under the door to see the reflection. My dad's doing that, but watching you piss.
What if, like, soon as Tim walked out of the bathroom, your dad walked in there, felt the seat, and says, "It's warm, but it doesn't smell like shit in here."
He just fucking kicked me out of the house.
One time I was at, this is when I was in like 2nd grade. I was at my friend's grandma's house, and we were crossing streams. Like, we were both pissing in the same toilet.
Dude.
We were playing Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like, all of his grandma's laundry was in this bathroom, and he turns and pisses on her laundry, and then I turn with him, and then we're both just pissing on his grandma's laundry.
Oh, my God.
I'm so sorry. I was a little kid. That's the only reason I did that. I would never do anything like that ever again.
Yeah.
Fucking fingers crossed.
Oh, yeah, that's happening right now. Come here, Louie.
And then after all the Native Americans left, a bunch of other shops popped up. And then cut to present day, where almost all that shit is gone. Like, there's a couple of stores, and that's about it. I know there's a general store because I checked the website out, and they sell a lot of pot pies there. So if we have any members of Heaven's Gate listening, or Mark,
oh yeah,
go check out Good Hart's General Store. Get yourself some pot pies.
Mark's only going if they get them out for free, though.
Dude, I don't want to say anything because I don't know what pot pies go for price-wise, but their site has like 1 billion of them for sale. Then it's like 6 pot pies, $99.
What the fuck?
Wait.
That seems like a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
That could be, maybe they're super good, though.
Maybe it's like those general stores that like aren't in town. They're right outside of it, so they have to charge a bunch because no one ever fucking goes there.
That's true. They're like, hey, they're like Kinder Eggs. They're pot pies, but they have fucking arrowheads in them because we stole them from the Indians before they left.
But they left, on their own, though. We didn't force them.
No,
out,
we
right?
didn't.
No.
And we didn't give them blankets of fucking diseases on them either.
No, we didn't do that at all.
And that's about all we will really get into for this episode. No.
All right, be good.
See you
Stay
guys.
safe.
No, that's about all we're really going to get into about Good Hart, because that's not even where the family is from. They're actually from the metropolitan Detroit area of, I think it's Lathrop Village in Michigan.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Good Hart is where, it's the place that's near where their vacation cabin up north is on the lake where this happened.
Yeah, absolutely. I did read that.
I'm just getting a crack out of the disease blanket thing.
Yeah, you would find that funny, too. Tell us, what's the funniest thing about that?
Dude, honestly, that is a great way to fuck someone over.
That's so shitty, dude.
It is. It's horrible what happened. But like a general tactician, that's genius. Like, oh, you guys are cool. Here's some fucking blankets for you. Because like I'm trying to like laugh like how I would do it in my way. It'd be like I just come in someone's socks, and like Kevin spends the night, he's like shivering. I like put the socks on his feet. Be like, don't go cold, my friend.
Dude, honestly, I feel like you could have just been telling us a story of something that actually happened.
I was kind of getting into that.
Yeah.
Is this about me, dude?
No.
Okay, go on.
This sucks because like there's some people that this is all hypothetically, right? This is
this is scenario.
yeah. This is
just
just
a scenario.
Yeah, just scenario.
like sometimes I like to tell lies and stuff, and this is just one of them. So like let's just say like there's this old like pillow sheet that I used to come on like a bunch.
Oh, this is about me. I remember this.
Wait, what?
Grandma's blanket.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Not the story?
Uh-oh.
I don't think so.
Oh, shit.
Oh, well, I'll tell that story then after this.
All right. Well, fuck, is it?
Yeah, because I was at your house spending the night once.
Oh, don't touch that. Don't touch that.
Yeah, and it was
Okay.
cold.
Okay,
and
yeah,
I went
tell us.
and it was cold. I went to go grab this blanket, and she was like, don't touch that, don't touch that, don't touch that. I was like, what? Why not? He's like, that's my dead grandma's blanket. I was like, oh, shit, okay. But it was just, he would fucking nut on this blanket. So fucking disgusting. He would just blow his load all over this fucking blanket.
Yeah, that's
You
the one.
fucking animal, dude. You are the Muppet animal.
Holy shit, dude.
I fucking like I've seen way worse shit on 4chan where like dudes blew ludes and like blew their load in like 2 liters and filled
Oh,
up
dude,
and
the
stuff.
cum
Like,
box,
Ugh.
is
The
most
shoe box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
the
tried
most
to burn it.
disgusting thing I've ever
Oh,
seen.
man.
But like this grandma's blanket was it got pretty hard. It was pretty gross. Like I came on it so much hypothetically
Yeah, it's scenario.
scenario that like it was like brown crust.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
man.
it's ridiculous.
Jesus. It would
And,
it would like break like dropping glass.
I was thinking like how funny it'd be to like I try to create a potion like I put I put grandma's blanket like over a jar and I take a piss jug and pour it into it and it sips through and like diamonds come out on the other side and that's how it's created. But I was gonna say AIDS instead.
Oh
okay.
my god, that blanket is so crusty. It's like that sweater from the Keenan and Kel episode, where it gets like deep fried and like
Yeah.
blasted over
Yeah.
in the road and run over.
Didn't like the dad buy it for the mom or something like that?
I can't remember.
Dude.
I know what you're talking about.
Grandma's blanket is more crustier than the garlic bread at a Chinese buffet.
I don't even know if Chinese buffet is having garlic bread.
Oh, dude, the one in
Dude,
Mansfield's
dude,
delicious.
Do they?
Kev would know, but yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually don't put that shit out.
Yeah. He's usually eating it in the back.
Okay, I'm sorry. We got way fucking sidetracked. So here we go, on to the Robison family. And the family consists of the father, Richard Robison. And of course, we have Mrs. Robison, his wife, Shirley.
Ooh.
And their 4 children, Richie, Gary, Randy, and Susan.
Oh,
Okay.
man, come on, dude.
So Richard, he's 42. Shirley is 40. Richie is 19. Gary is 17. Randy is 12. And then Susan, she's either 7 or 8. Like, I've seen sources mention her as 7, and some mention her as being 8.
I know they died and stuff, and I feel bad, but they were not creative at all with any of these names.
See, this is Richie. This is going to be Richie. We got, we'll name him Randy instead of Richie.
Name her fucking Susan. Like, nobody wants to be named Susan.
So, like, people used to say that the dad was kind of a dick.
Oh, come on, too.
And they said that his son took after him just a little bit, so he's just a little bit of a dick.
Little Richie.
Yeah, just a little dicky.
Also, I will be making a Richard Dick joke later on.
Ooh.
So
There we go.
I was acting like I was like above. That's like, come on, Jeremiah, Richard Dick joke.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you go that low?
So a lot of this information we get from MichiganOtherSide.com, and there's also a lot of websites out there with some information, but this is where he pulled a lot of it from. So here we go. Now on to the summer of 1968, just 1 year before Tim would get his very first
6-string.
That's right.
Yeah,
Tim,
bought
nice
at
job,
the
dude.
five and dime. Yeah.
So we have Richard and the rest of the Robison family traveling about 4 hours away to Lake Michigan to spend some time at their holiday cabin for a little family vacation.
Ooh, hell yeah.
They were staying at the Holiday Inn.
Yo, who you with?
Richie, and Randy,
Susan.
friend.
And also Mrs. Robison. And the vacation home was a simple but beautiful log cabin that sat right on the shore of Lake Michigan. It was located in a secluded area that couldn't be seen from the road. It was nestled hidden in woods between the pine trees.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You could see like the location on like maps and the area it was in. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
And they called their secluded cabin Somerset.
Ooh, I like that. Isn't that like a book series or something?
I don't know. No, you're thinking of
Harry Potter.
oh yeah.
Yeah. No.
My dad's like, summer shandy. Y'all got summer shandy out there?
No, Somerset's from something. I can't think of what it is. It's like maybe like a town, like
Dude, Summer's Isle?
dude.
From
Wait,
Wicker Man?
wait, fuck, is that what it is? Dude, that might be it. That might be it.
And the Robisons, they were known as an upstanding family that regularly attended church, and it was also said that the family had no enemies. And the family was pretty wealthy. Richard was an advertising executive in Detroit and published the magazine Impresario. That sounds like a fucking Harry Potter song. Impresario. Holy shit, the fucking table's floating.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, I dropped my beer.
Impresario, I think it is. And then the wife, Shirley, she was a stay-at-home mother, taking care of the house and the kids. And Richie, the oldest son, he attended Michigan University.
Oh, so how old was he? For some reason, I was thinking they were all like young kids, but I guess university would have to be at least 18.
Richie is 19.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then the rest of the kids, which are the 17, 12, and 7-year-old, neighbors and friends all said that those three kids, they all did well in school, and they were very smart and polite.
They did say that the oldest sibling was the wealthiest, correct?
Yeah, I believe they did say that, yeah.
They always call him...
I already know.
It's a Richie thing.
Yeah, obviously. Let's hear it. Let's hear it, too. Let's hear the fucking punchline. Because it's in his fucking name.
Yeah.
Richie Rich.
That was good. It had to happen.
And now, before we talk about the gruesome murder of this poor but wealthy family,
Yeah.
we're going to mention the last day that they were seen alive.
Did they go to church?
Yeah, they went to church.
Like, no, they didn't go. Did they go to church the last day?
Oh, no, not that I know of.
I was about to say Jesus Christ, because the Alexa Axe murder, like that was like this like family that went to church and was all like seemed like decent people.
Oh
And,
yeah.
it's almost like don't go to church or your whole family's gonna get murdered.
That would suck. Like, I don't know. Like, they say, like, well, at least he died doing what he loved. Like, that old saying.
Yeah.
That would suck to be in church, like, all day and then fucking die right after it.
You just go home, you're like, fuck that, I just want to watch football.
I know.
Then you're fucking dead.
Or play with my fushigi ball.
Oh.
Dude, that sucks, man. My cousin died, but at least he went out doing what he loved, playing with his fushigi ball and not getting laid.
No, I'm not. I'm just dead inside.
He's like, can you believe it, Kevin? He obviously told me this before he died.
Yeah.
Which, that was obviously suicide. That's not funny. I'm sorry. But before he died, he told me, he's like, Kevin, can you believe it, man? I've been on Tinder, and all my dates start off, and I tell them about my fushigi ball, and all them dates end without me getting laid. It's like, yeah, dude, I can't believe that, man.
No. I'm still trying to follow in his footsteps.
Holy shit.
I can't fucking do the tricks.
Yeah,
I can't do I've been practicing with an orange.
Yeah, I'm worse at that than he was, so I mean, I'm getting laid even less.
Dude, this is the greatest thing ever. So I looked up fushigi ball on Google and went to the images.
Yeah.
The kid looks like the T-1000 playing with himself.
Dude, he actually looks like one of the Columbine shooters.
Holy shit, dude! I think that might be one of the
That
Columbine
is.
shooters. That's fucking him.
Google Fushigi Columbine.
Yeah, dude, that was.
I
him.
just want to know. So the family's last day of being seen was on June 24th, 1968. Well, it was the last time that Richard Robison was seen alive anyways.
Okay.
So June 24th, Richard goes over to the home of Chauncey Bliss. Now, who the hell is Mr. Big Shot Chauncey Bliss?
I mean, yeah, I know you already have the joke.
No, I was just making a Chauncey Billups Mr. Big Shot
That's what I was
joke.
going with too. Yeah.
He also, some sources have him named as Monty Bliss. Some as Chauncey Bliss. So we're mentioning that. I'm going to call him Chauncey.
Yeah, I like Chauncey way more.
But he was not only a friend of the family, but he was also the caretaker for the Robison cabin, where all the murders would soon take place.
Yeah.
And a fun note here, he even built that wonderful cabin back in 1956.
Damn. Seems like a handy guy.
Handy man.
Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag Wildman. So the reason Richard is over visiting Chauncey was because Chauncey's son had just recently been killed in a motorcycle accident, and Chauncey's son was good friends with the Robison boys. So Richard, he went over to pay his respects.
So if we have Chauncey and Richard, what about Tayshaun, Ben, and Rashid?
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
yes, dude.
That was a fucking nasty
Wait,
Detroit team.
yeah.
That's in
was.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was Pistons.
okay.
Yeah, that's why I made the Chauncey Billups joke.
Oh, I thought it was just a Chauncey.
No.
That name's never
Yeah.
popular.
Dude, that fucking Detroit team was nasty, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Rip. Fucking Rip Hamilton, baby.
They won the finals, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until LeBron came along.
Well, yeah. It was,
Until LeBron dad-dicked the entire Eastern Conference.
Oh, yeah.
Except for Dwight Howard and fucking Hito Turkoglu. Do you see what Turkoglu's up to now?
That's steroids. Oh, yeah, like being a Turkey or Ogden guy.
If you guys want to see a funny clip, look up Turkoglu ball. It's pretty good. So now, according to Chauncey, on July 25th of 1968, he told the Petoskey, that's probably not right. I fuck up every city and town's names.
yeah, but
Everyone
they're all
knows it.
fucking. They're all weird though.
What's funny is that, yeah, I always get emails like, dude, I fucking love how bad you are at pronouncing those. He's like, I'm losing my shit over you not being able to pronounce these.
Well, it's like how the fucking map, whatever the hell it is, MapQuest or whatever,
Yeah.
pronounces Medina.
Yeah.
Every time it's like Medina, I'm like, fuck you, it's fucking Medina, man.
Like in Florida, I used to work in a place called Altamont Springs, but on Google Maps they call it Altamonte.
Oh,
And
hell
so I
yes,
showed up
dude.
calling it Altamonte, and everyone fucking laughed at me. It's like,
yeah.
man, fuck y'all. I quit, and I quit.
Yeah.
Good job showing them.
Thanks. So on July 25th of 1968, Chauncey told the Petoskey News Review that Richard had left $20 for flowers for the family. Like, he didn't buy flowers, but he left $20 to get some, which back then is like a decent amount of money,
Yeah.
but still, that's kind of just like being real fucking lazy.
Yeah. Here's $20.
Hey, hashtag Wildman.
I said Wildman.
But Chauncey did say that Richard, he went over and visited Mr. Bliss's mother and father as well to express his condolences. So that was pretty nice.
That's a sweet name though, Chauncey Bliss.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Pretty sweet name. Like that should be like a porn star or something for sure.
And one more important note here. Chauncey mentioned that Richard had told him that the family was going to be leaving in a couple weeks to take a trip to Kentucky and then down to Florida so that they could purchase some property. And one source said that later on that there was a note found at the front door of the Robisons' cabin that said like they would not be returning until July. I only saw that listed in one spot, and I don't know if it actually meant at the front door of their house or their vacation cabin, or if that note even existed at all. But a lot of people, because as you'll find out as we go on later, this family, they get murdered and then no one knows about it for almost a month.
Yeah.
That's because they all said that they were going to be going down south, but they just went up to their Michigan cabin for a little bit before heading down south. So everyone just assumed that they were gone down south.
Yeah, absolutely.
So alrighty.
Was that a death note?
Oh, it could have been.
I have no idea about that show.
Andrew likes that show, I believe. So if Andrew was here, he could tell us a little bit about it. So alrighty, before we jump into talking about the murders, was there anything you guys wanted to mention?
Nope.
Alrighty. On
What? Well,
you son of a bitch.
What was just to put me in the mood, for the upcoming story. What was Mrs. Robinson's cup size?
Ooh.
Fuck, dude, I just hurt my back.
The boner's pulling your back down?
No, that's how big the cup size was, man. Fucked her back up and everything.
So here we go. It was now July of 1968. It has been a few weeks since Richard had stopped over to talk to Chauncey Bliss, and it's been a few weeks since anyone in the Robison family had been seen. Yeah, I said it different that time. I don't know why I said that. Like, yeah, you motherfuckers got something to say?
Yeah,
I said it
fuck you,
different
man.
that time.
Tell him, Kev.
Yeah. What does Denzel say? King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Fuck yeah, dude. Training Day.
Yeah, dude. I love, the scene where he's in the car and he makes the Ethan Hawke smoke.
Yeah.
That is so fucking good. Where he puts a gun up to him.
Yeah.
And then after he smokes, he's like, there you go, man. No, you didn't have to do that. And like someone had a gun to your head. Dude, he's fucking badass.
Yeah. Training Day is a sweet movie.
I feel like whenever you grow up or like you're growing up, like you're a teenager and stuff, and you meet your girlfriend's dad for the first time, they're always just pretty much Denzel Washington in Training Day.
Oh my God.
Even if they're the nicest person ever, they're always like, that's how you see them.
You know you're getting your fucking ass beat if you do anything.
Dude, like one of our friends' dad is always Dave is like always the nicest guy ever.
Oh, I love Dave.
And the one time I fucked up into that gas tank thing, he came in the bedroom. Like I've never even heard him raise his voice ever. And he's like, which one of you fucking did it? And like I just sat there, I was like, it was me. Like bitched out immediately.
Yeah, but
he just Denzel Washington me.
You fucking deserve that, though.
Well, yeah, maybe.
It was one of our Patreon supporters. One time her boyfriend was over when we were hanging out at Jason's house, and two, for no reason, decided to go to that guy's car, open up his gas tank, stick his fucking wiener in there and piss. What a piece of shit, too.
Well, I kind of was feeling like the Mel Hall of Fame right then.
Yeah.
Hashtag Mel Hall of Fame.
Hashtag Mel Hall of Fame.
And I pretend like I was R. Kelly in that car. Was a young woman.
Why? Though?
And
That just made this way different.
Piss on you. Piss on you.
Dude, this is my fault. We missed the ball, guys. Over a year ago, we first brought up the R. Kelly sex cult. That was, and like no one was talking about that shit.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like we're gonna wait a little bit. We're gonna make an episode, but we're gonna do it in like the style of Trapped in the Closet.
Yeah, we didn't do it.
And now they made a documentary. Now everyone is fucking talking about it, and we fucking missed the ball, and that's my fault.
Yeah, I'll blame you for it.
It's all right.
Sorry, guys.
And plus, that guy kind of deserved it.
So it's been a few weeks since anyone has seen the family, but since the talks of the family leaving to go south for a vacation, everyone didn't think too much about it. They just assumed that they had already left on their trip. And don't forget that we mentioned earlier that the cabin is secluded on the shore in a woodsy area. And yes, it is in a vacationing spot. And yes, there are neighbors, but none that are right next to them. Like the closest house, I forget how far away it is, but it's a decent amount of ways. Like I think like possibly like, I've heard some say like dozens and dozens of feet. One say like a quarter mile. I don't know, but it's like a ways away to where you wouldn't be able to just look over and see anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was then when a woman that was living in a nearby cabin called up Chauncey, who is the caretaker for the cabins, to complain about a, quote, ungodly smell, which led Chauncey to the Robisons' cabin.
Oh, shit.
And he thought the smell was most likely a raccoon that had crawled under the cabin and maybe died in the crawl space or something. However, much like our good serial friend Toucan Sam, when Chauncey Bliss followed his nose, he didn't end up with the beautiful bowl of Fruit Loops. No, sir. And the closer that Chauncey got to that house, the more he realized that the smell was coming from beyond the front door.
Oh, fuck.
So he knocked, and he got no response. He then entered the home, and immediately he was greeted with not only the worst god-awful fucking nasty smell of all time, but he saw Mrs. Robison's body completely spread out in the main room with her clothing stripped from the waist down.
Oh, hell yeah.
But covered with like a blanket also, I think.
Yeah.
And then looking further in the cabin and into the hallway, Chauncey saw a Jenga tower of more bodies that were just fucking piled together, like literally piled up with pools of congealed blood underneath them.
That's fucking gross.
That is pretty fucking gross.
Yeah. Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag Wildman, though. It's a fucking extreme.
Yeah,
this is a fucking extreme game of Jenga. They were playing Jenga. He pulled out the wood block and it just said fucking murder the entire family, then Jenga them. This is a fucking extreme game of Jenga.
Wait a minute.
It was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I've never played Jenga. Jenga pieces have words on them?
Some people play like a drinking game.
Oh, okay.
Where you write shit on the Jenga block.
Oh, okay.
It's like, oh, this says I gotta take a drink of my beer, Jeremiah.
Oh, that's crazy.
I would have never done
I
that.
thought it'd be like a crazier game.
No, that's pretty crazy. That's beer. Yeah. We're talking about alcoholic beverages. That's beer.
Drinking beer.
What are you two doing in here in the dark alone?
Drinking beer.
It'd be funny if like it's like a Jenga game where it's like, don't look around before you tell a joke with the N-word in it.
So Tooth just carries that block with him in his pocket at all times. Pulls it out like a fucking fidget spinner.
right before they were about to fight me, I was like, but the block said it. Dude, imagine like being in a crowded place and someone's like you just had to tell a joke with the N-word in and you couldn't look around at first. How scary how fucking scary that would be.
It's like pretty much Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where he has to wear like the sign.
Yeah, the sign.
Yeah.
Dude, I know how scary that is. One time at karaoke, like it was all of us. I thought it'd be funny. So like I was like, dude, I'll sing DMX Rough Riders. So I signed up to sing it, and right before I went up there, like a bunch of black guys came in. Oh. So I literally just sang the entire song. I made all that up.
Okay. Holy shit, dude.
Imagine me doing that, and I just do the what the whole time.
Dude,
what?
I actually got excited.
No, that'd have been cool though. And as far as the cabin goes, all the curtains were drawn. The front door was locked with the latch drawn from the inside, and then the side door was locked with a padlock. And there was said to have been plenty of food inside the home, and then the table had a set of playing cards that were set out, so it looked like the family was in the middle of like playing cards before they were murdered.
Were the curtains marker or crayon, or what were they? The curtains were drawn?
Oh, Tooth.
Colored pencil, maybe?
I also, some reports said like all the people were like dressed up nice, like they were getting ready to leave or something, and then there was like one suitcase full of clothes. I'm not quite sure, but I think a source said something like that. So of course, Chauncey is like, what the fuck is this shit? He runs out and calls the cops as quickly as he can.
Yeah.
The police arrived, and on scene they found Bugle Boy jeans and a Bum Equipment t-shirt, thus proving the killer was Andrew all along.
Holy shit. Wait, they didn't actually find this, did they?
No, if only that was what they found.
Jesus Christ, I would have thought that it would have only been around in the 90s.
Sadly, they did not find that.
Oh, fuck. Andrew, you're off the hook this time, buddy.
So they knew it was Andrew's because they found a cigar on the scene, and it was a black and mildly bicurious.
Okay, all right.
Oh, fuck yeah.
All right, I'm
dude,
okay
nice.
with that.
Okay.
Was there a Polaroid of me there or no?
Oh, yeah, we call it Tater Tot Dick.
Oh, fuck yeah.
From throwback to last week.
No.
I took the Polaroid down in my room. I'm pretty sure that you have a new Xbox. Oh, I thought we were going with that one.
No, we would always change it to Xbox, and then we changed it to Pretzel.
There's a song by Say Anything called Alive with the Glory of Love. And it's all about like two Jews being in love with each other in like Nazi Germany and concentration camp.
But it got so much better.
And we used to always sing it, but we changed words in it to like pretzel and stuff. And I remember Mark used to always send me the lyrics. He'd be like, should they kill me, your love will fill me as warm as a pretzel. And another one was, should they catch us and dispatch us with separate board games?
Holy shit, that's good.
In the initial investigation of the cabin, they would find 6 bodies, that being, of course, Richard, Shirley, Richie, Gary, Randy, and Susan.
Yeah, I like right when he found him, like he walks in, he's like, surely that's Richard. That's not even funny at all.
When he first walked up to the cabin, he was going do 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 do, and he opened the door. He's like, "Oh, Mrs. Robinson, I see your naked legs under the blanket." That's mean. That's not funny. So Shirley, Mrs. Robinson, she was found in the living room, covered up with a blanket. Then 3 bodies were piled up in the hallway, and then 2 in the back bedroom. And this is pretty fucked up, but all 6 members of the family had been shot with a pistol, and then Richard, the father, and Susan, the 7-year-old girl, both of them were not only shot, but beaten with a fucking hammer.
God damn it. I had a Susan joke. I'm not going to crack it now, but
it was Susan Boyle joke?
No, it's going to be Lazy Susan.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Like beaten with a ball peen hammer?
It was actually a claw hammer.
Hashtag Wildman.
Oh, Toof! No, Toof. We don't make fun of the victims on this show.
We've never done that.
We're
Toof.
trying not to, because we get a lot of... Whenever we make fun of stuff, it's 99% not because we're making fun of them. It's just because their names are funny.
Most of the time, yeah.
And when the detective walked in, he's like, well, we got these 6 bodies here. They were all shot. 2 of them were beaten with a blunt object, either by a hammer or quite possibly a fushigi ball.
Was the whole family possibly just done listening to a drowning pool song?
Oh, come on. Okay, moving on.
Holy shit.
And the entire cabin is covered in blood. The bodies are heavily decomposed, and then there are just like hundreds of flies literally everywhere. Like, I've seen it described as a wall of flies as soon as they walked in.
It's like the scene from Amityville Horror.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
And a very important and interesting bit of information here. The windows that led into the cabin's living room, there were some bullet holes found in that bad boy. And we'll mention a little bit later what one of the theories is.
Absolutely.
And now, according to the book, When Evil Came to Good Hart, which is written by Marty Link, here's a quote. It looked like someone shot at the family while they were in the cabin from across the road, through the window, and they came around and came in through the lakeside door with a handgun and finished them off. Because, yeah, all 6 family members were shot. 2 of them were beaten with a hammer, but they were all left inside, and none of these bodies were discovered for, like, weeks.
I'm trying to think of a way to crack a joke that says to the window to the wall, but I had nothing. I got nothing.
It was a rival internet reporter that shot him because the family was about to release their first internet story, and he couldn't let that happen inside the blog cabin.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck, Toof? I feel like Toof was trying to stop himself from saying that, but I also loved it.
And based on the decomposition of the bodies, as well as the timeline of when the family was last seen, authorities believe that the Robisons were murdered in the late afternoon or early evening of Tuesday, June 25th of 1968. And for the investigation, we have the Emmett County Undersheriff Clifford Fosmore, because the actual sheriff, Richard Zink, a.k.a. Dick Zink, which is what they used to call me when I used to work at the old mines, and I got caught shoving nuggets of zinc up my dick hole. And no, for real, though, the real sheriff, Richard Zink, he was out of town during this time, so we have the Undersheriff Fosmore taking over.
Yeah, like Fosmore, it's pretty cool. Like he became pretty popular, so like later on they named a wrestler after him. Roman Reigns, they called him the Big Dog. Just Clifford, the Big Red Dog.
Oh my God.
I also had a wrestling joke, but it wasn't that.
Okay.
Actually, the Undersheriff, Fosmore, he wasn't even going to end up like finishing this investigation because he went off to like have a wrestling career and then started a metal band called Fozzymore. That's not even funny. I couldn't think of a good delivery.
Fuck yeah.
And the state police crime lab, they would even arrive on scene on July 22nd so they could gather up the evidence. And then the following day, the bodies would be taken away for autopsies. And now here's a quote from Emmett prosecutor, whom is also named Richard.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this
dude.
entire town is just people named Dick.
Yeah, there's too much.
Like, they should have just named this place Dicktown.
Yeah, they really should have.
But thank God they didn't, because we have already copyrighted that name for our next podcast.
Yeah, and also, I mean, we don't want to like keep finding Andrew there.
So if this guy died and he was put in the body bag with the other Richard, would they be a bag of dicks? And if you were a cannibal, would you eat that bag of dicks?
Oh my God.
Yes, I would again.
So here's a quote from Emmett prosecutor Richard Smith. About all we can say at present is that this was a mass type of premeditated murder by persons unknown. But we feel safe in assuming that the person who committed the crime did know the Robisons well enough to plan the act completely, leaving the area without being detected.
I mean, I feel like murderers normally try to do that.
Yeah, it's like, for some reason, he stuck around, and he showed us some of his fushigi tricks in the cabin, and we're just going to let him go.
Yeah, I mean, your cousin was really good at it. Yeah, I would have let him go, too.
But don't you be fooled. He did not get laid. The fushigi ball kind of prevents that from happening.
Yeah.
Imagine being like a girl and you fall for this guy, and like like everything's great and like sex is great and everything. Like when you're done, you're like, I really like this guy, and then you just see him like on the side of his bed just playing with a fushigi ball, and you're like, holy fucking shit, I need to abort this kid right now.
Damn! Jesus!
What the fuck?
I mean, I was gonna say like if he went to prison for the murder though, like at least we know he won't get raped.
Oh, damn, that's just as bad. Oh, we're sorry. Those are some pretty dark jokes. Sorry, guys.
No, I don't think they're that dark. It's just prison rape.
Oh, my God, damn. God damn.
We all know it happens.
So the good news, law enforcement as well as local volunteers, they were all on site and searching the areas such as the shore and the woods, trying to gather up and find any piece of evidence that they could. The bad news, these murders most likely happened about a month ago, and the trail had already gone colder than Anthony Bennett when he's not playing in the summer league.
Oh, fuck yes, dude.
That's so funny. Like, Anthony Bennett was just so fucking bad that anytime we play basketball, like we'd usually go to like AU to play or outside.
Yeah.
Anytime we play people that suck, we just refer to him as Bennett.
Yeah, and he would just Bennett would destroy all of us.
I know.
Yeah.
What if it's colder than your ex-girlfriend's grandma's heart?
Oh, that cold bitch. I forgot about her too.
She dead yet?
I don't know. I'm sure she always fucking shows up at the places I really don't want to see her. And then fate somehow plans it out where I have to help her with something, and I fucking hate it.
Like you're gonna be at like your own wedding, like to like another girl, and she's gonna show up there.
Oh my
like, Kevin,
God.
I need you to help me.
I do not like her.
Yeah, she wasn't good in bed at all.
No, dude.
Yeah.
What if you're like standing at the toy aisle of Toys R? What if you're standing at the toy aisle of like some Kmart or something?
Wait, those are two things that are out of business.
Yeah, but you're like standing there looking at the fushigi balls ready to buy one. Then you just hear this old ass bitch come around the corner. She's like, "Yes, employee, this is right where I want to show some for my grandson." And she just stares you right in the eyes. She's like, "I knew you'd be here."
Oh.
And she's just queefing the whole time.
And if I still had any wishes left from that genie lamp I found, I'd be like, okay, genie, I'm ready to use my last wish. I want to replace her with that fucking dummy in the BC Boys Sabotage video that gets thrown off that bridge.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And as we mentioned in a quote earlier, 2 firearms have been used in the killings, and then also a bludgeoning weapon, such as a hammer, was used on the father and then also on Susan. And also, all over the cabin was blood, and in the blood, the detectives found footprints, which I think were shoe prints, actually, which led them to believe that only one person was responsible for the murders.
I think I got it already.
Oh, so you already know who it is?
We can rule out Sub-Zero because he had 2 ice arms.
Holy shit.
I was trying to think of anyone who had firearms in the history of anything.
As many times as we said firearms in the podcast, is the first time that joke came up. And that's fucking amazing.
And some sources report that Shirley's body was posed to look like it was maybe sexually attacked, and that the killer had intentionally left the body in that position for people to see. But due to the levels of decomposition, I don't believe they were ever able to say whether or not Shirley had been like sexually assaulted.
Let's
or
hope not. Like,
yeah, I fucking hope not.
This might be deletable, but I don't mean it in this way. But hopefully, she had like mucklow pussy, and they were like, "No, fuck that." And they just didn't do it.
My dad was actually the guy who did all this.
Yeah.
And they're questioning him, like, well, sir, why didn't you do it? He's like, well, I went in there, opened her pussy up like a laptop.
Wait, Kev.
Holy shit.
You said there was sexual assault on her, possibly?
Well, they found her.
They think that they staged it.
Yeah, they think that the person staged it to look like she was sexually assaulted.
I thought you said only 2 family members got hammered.
Oh my God, 2? Jesus. Okay, no more.
All right.
Moving on. Because this poor lady, so we're very sorry. Rest in peace, Robison family. That sucks.
R.I.P.
And now, according to MLive.com, this is about the bodies and the autopsy. So the initial autopsies had to be done at the Emmett County Fairgrounds.
Holy shit, dude.
Because the smell and the advanced state of decomposition made it just way too hard to bring the bodies into the morgue. And also because they had a roller skating rink there.
They just fucking skated over them.
Oh, shit. So here's the descriptions of the bodies. Shirley, she was found lying on her stomach on the floor in the southeast section of the living room. A plaid blanket was covering her body, except for the area below her knees. She was shot once in the head. A .25 caliber slug was found in the first autopsy. So yeah, I believe they had an autopsy, then I think they might have buried them and then dug them back up.
Oh, fuck.
I'm not positive, but I think maybe.
And these things all make sense.
Richard, he was found lying on the floor in the hallway over the hot air register. Yeah, the person that did this fucking cranked the heat up. This is in July.
Wow.
They cranked the heat up in the house.
Dude, what do they just do that just to make them have like a high gas bill? Like, hey, if they live, they're gonna pay this shit.
Hey, check it out. I went on fucking DirecTV and I bought the fight. I don't know why. And I got fucking Ryan Dunn coming over later. We're gonna stick some fucking fireworks up Phil's ass.
Yeah, Ryan didn't make it, but yeah, I mean,
Oh, dude.
okay, yeah, I guess I can't crack that joke.
Dude, when my grandma passed away, like, my mom found her body.
Oh,
And,
shit.
like-
Was she also wrapped in your in her
Oh,
own
my
grandma's
God.
blanket?
Oh, yeah.
Because that fucker could deflect bullets.
That's what they use on the bottom of spaceships when they enter our orbit again.
But as soon as they land, for some reason, even the men are pregnant.
That's why the aliens don't show up. But yeah, like, I guess she just got done cranking her heat, and I think she passed away from like natural causes or some weird shit. Let's say a heart attack. But like she said, she went there and it was like 80 degrees in the house, and like she only like saw her like once a month to go get groceries and shit. So she was there for like 3 weeks.
Oh,
God,
shit.
dude, that smelled pretty bad.
She said it was the worst ever. Like, it was just like blown pretty much. Like, the house stunk so bad.
I wouldn't have gone in because basically, if like, no offense, but if it's a grandma, you kind of just know.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'll call somebody else and have them do it.
Yeah. It just...
But my mom couldn't notice the smell because sometimes
Oh, God.
she would go like a week or so without sticking that Dove bar soap in her pussy, so she just thought it was her.
Dude, that's your own mom.
Dude, I believed you.
Fuck.
I believed you.
Dude, I laughed so hard at that, I just farted.
Dude, hopefully it's not as bad as the last one.
Yeah.
Dude, I forget who the fuck it was. It might have been Allie or someone, but they were saying like some girl recently was in the hospital because she had a bar of soap in her vagina.
Oh, shit.
So fucking funny.
Their stories are always so fucking funny. Like when people go to the ER and they get shit stuck in like their like asses or in their poontang.
Yeah.
It's always so. I tripped and fell and shoved the javelin in my asshole.
Yeah, it sucks because like I thought like confidential like they wouldn't tell people. And I go in there, I'm like, I don't know how I got that Matchbox car in there, but
Dude, no.
I just need it out.
When I was doing radiology, like you can like go through and look at any X-ray you want on there. So
Fuck
I was
yeah,
always
dude.
looking at shit.
Hell yeah.
Like they had like funny ones marked. So
That's awesome.
You know, like when you would take mechanical pencils and make the lead come all the way out and like pretend to give yourself a shot?
yeah.
Well, the first time I ever met Kev, it was in the fucking boys' restroom in the elementary school, and he was fucking sticking the fucking lead in his pee hole, and fucking he was giving himself like Viagra shots or something like that, and that's how I fucking met him.
What?
I knew it was destined to be when I looked over and someone else also had their pants around their ankles when they were pissing.
Dude, we had this kid. Actually,
We've told this, I'm pretty sure.
okay, so
It might have been our Patreon episode.
this kid from India went to our school, who also last episode, this is the same kid that did that shitty science fair project, but he was even in high school and shit. Whenever he used a urinal, he would pull his pants and underwear all the way down to his fucking shoes.
Use butters.
And sometimes just for fun, like we would stand next to him and do the same thing. I remember one time in basketball in 7th grade, we were just fucking awful. We were real fucking bad, and he was on the team.
That's why.
One time he shot the ball and like didn't even throw it towards the hoop. He threw it sideways, like 6 rows deep. But anyways, one time we were getting bitched at halftime, and our coach got so mad he threw this water bottle, and it fucking like bounced off the wall and rolled all the way down to the other end where this kid's bag was, and it just fucking leaked out all over his shit, and only his. And he still played more than I did. I sucked.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Have I told the Hobby Lobby story on here where I pull my pants down?
Oh,
No,
man.
let's hear it.
Do you guys know this one? It just happened like a year ago.
No.
No.
Me and Cassidy went to Hobby Lobby, and I like went to the bathroom there. I don't think it was the Mansfield. It was just someone around here though. So I went to the bathroom and I started pissing. And like sometimes at my house, I'll pretty much go like almost to my knees sometimes.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, no one ever comes to the fucking restroom here. So I pulled my fucking pants. I think I had shorts. It was like during summertime. So I pulled my shorts and underwear to my knees and started pissing. And I was like, just sitting there enjoying it. And the door fucking opened. And I fucking look back. And I was like, please not a kid. Please not a kid. Please not a kid. And it was like probably like this like 30, 40-year-old guy. And he just looks at me and starts smiling. And I fucking slowly start pulling. I'm like trying to be sneaky about it. And I'm slowly pulling my pants, my shorts up my ass, and he just like walks and stands next to me, and I can just see him smiling from my periffs the whole
Fuck
time.
yes, dude.
And I went and fake washed my hands and left. And as soon as we walked out, like I hurried up and found Cassie. I was like, we need to leave right now. She's like, why? I was like, I embarrassed you.
Oh god, that's amazing.
Dude, sometimes when I'm at like Walmart or public places and there's someone taking a shit in the bathroom, I swear to God I do it. I still do it. I'll fucking like when I leave, I'll wash my hands, I'll open the door, but I stay in there to see if they were waiting for me to leave to fart. And like sometimes like I'll do that, and when they think it's empty, I'll go, "Hey man, you pooping?"
Oh my God, really? Oh man, dude, this really doesn't happen much anymore.
Holy
but like it'd be
shit.
like a 5% chance. Like it'd pretty much be the same thing. Like I wash my hands and right I'm walking out, I try and talk to them, like, how's it going in there? And I just walk out without even like hearing them talk, because I always like start laughing as soon as I say it. I was like, go in there and just walk out.
It's time to break the cycle of waste and mess. Time to stop accepting that the way things have been done are the way they should be done. Control-Alt-Delete everything you thought you knew about how to period. We're flipping the script, we're throwing out the book, we're challenging the period status quo. The Diva Cup is eco-friendly, reusable, and offers up to 12 hours leak-free protection. So what are you waiting for? Join the inner revolution with the Diva Cup. The Diva Cup is used for menstrual flow only. Always read and follow the user guide.
So alrighty, back to the body. Sorry about that. So we come to Richard. He was found lying on the floor of the hallway over the hot air register. He was shot once in the head. A .25 caliber slug was found on the first autopsy. He also had skull fractures and evidence of blunt force trauma. During the second autopsy, a .22 caliber slug was found. Investigators believe he initially was shot in the chest with a .22 caliber rifle, then in the head with the pistol.
How did they miss the 22 the first time?
I don't know if they just didn't do like a thorough enough search because of all the decomposition and how bad the bodies smelled and everything. I have no idea.
Also,
Gotcha.
I would guess that someone, like, it's a 22 and a 25.
22s are pretty small.
I was saying maybe like the 22s were shot from outside, and once like they thought all the family members were dropped, they went in the house and saw some were still moving around, so then they shot him in the head with the 25 slug.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then Richie, he's the one who went to Eastern Michigan University. He was found in the northwest bedroom of the cabin, partially in the hallway and partially in the bedroom. His legs were extended out into the hallway. He had multiple gunshot wounds to his head that were from the .25 caliber. And Gary, he was found lying on his back along the east wall of the northwest bedroom. He had 2 gunshot wounds to the head, both from the .25 caliber. And the second autopsy found a .22 caliber slug and evidence that he was also shot in the back. Randall, he was found lying on top of his father, a lavender-colored rug from his shoulders down to his buttocks. The youngest son's cause of death is listed as a gunshot wound to the head, but no bullet was recovered during the autopsy. And then the youngest, Susan, she was found lying on her back in the hallway at the south side of her father, and she was shot in the fucking face.
Ugh.
That is so... How do you shoot a 7-year-old kid in the face?
Who fucking knows?
A .25 caliber slug was recovered from her clothing, and then she also had skull fractures, possibly from the claw hammer that was found at the scene.
So you didn't just shoot her?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking sick.
And investigators later determined that someone from the bullet holes in the front window, someone shot through the cottage window with a rifle, killing Richard, and then killing one of the boys also, they believe. And then they suspect that the killer came into the cabin, chased them, and shot them down one by one. And then that's when he gave two last of the victims, hit them with hammers or whatever the fuck he used. And then he closed the curtains, locked the door, turned up the heat, and then he covered up the front window with a piece of cardboard, hoping to cover up the bullet holes. That's what one of their theories is.
It almost seems stupid though, because that probably made the smell worse, like cranking up the heat.
But I think he was doing that so the bodies would decompose quicker.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it worked. I mean, this is an unsolved case. And one thing that makes this case so difficult to solve is the police had a hard time trying to figure out who would want to kill this entire family. Investigators will later believe that the main target was most likely the father Richard, but motive is still pretty unclear. And by now, word had spread of the murder of the entire Robison family, and newspapers are posting articles about the incident, and then people were praying that the suspect would be caught immediately, but it took the police weeks before they even had a suspect to look into.
Wow.
This is where it gets crazy. Were they even robbed or anything since they were wealthy?
It doesn't mention if they had money on them or anything.
I meant their houses and everything.
Oh.
If those ever got broke into.
We'll talk about one suspect, pretty much the main suspect in this, what he did.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is, it's really fucked up. As people are like, holy shit, there's a psycho killer running around that just killed his entire family. Could we be next? People were in a frenzy. People were fucking scared. And that family was killed a month ago, and then it took the police weeks after that just to find a suspect. But the police, they would come forward and mention that they didn't think the killer was just some person that was passing by. They believe that he or she was somebody that had known the family. And on July 26th, Sheriff Dick Zink, he would return back home and begin to assist with the investigation. And also on July 26th, a funeral for the entire family would take place. And then later during the investigation and after interviewing nearby people, there were a couple that were living about a quarter mile away. They said they heard some gunfire around 9 p.m. on June 25th. And then they said they heard shouts of two men and then a woman that were coming from where the Robison's cabin was. But they didn't go over there and check it out or anything. Here's their quote. "We just heard a series of shots, one with a little short pause, and then 3 or 4 others after that," one recalled. "It was still light out, so we thought that somebody was shooting gulls on the beach."
Yes, that makes sense why they wouldn't have called somebody.
Yeah.
Because they were still light out.
And also, we don't know if that's true or not either, because I think that came out later on. I mean, I'm not saying they just made that up, but I mean, we have no way of knowing.
And even if it is true, I understand why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
If I heard that and it was daytime, I probably wouldn't call anybody either.
Yeah. All right, anything before we start talking about some suspects?
So that's kind of crazy. They thought someone was just shooting seagulls, I take it, out there for meat or something maybe?
Or just because they're pieces of shit birds, I guess.
Oh, I gotcha. Because
I always know it's going to be good when before Toof will always start telling something, and then he'll face palm himself. All right, let's hear it, Jeremiah.
They must have been pretty hungry for them birds if they were shooting them, because you got a lot of gall if you're going to eat them kind of birds.
Oh my God.
Holy shit. Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So on to suspects. The police began to dig into Richard's business dealings to see if they could find anyone that he may have worked with or dealt with that may have had some beef with him. And they did, in fact, come up with a lead. The police learned that even though Richard presented himself as a, quote, prosperous executive, it turns out that some of his companies were in a wee bit of trouble.
Oh, shit.
Squeal, that reminded me of the Deliverance. The way I said wee reminded me of that scene in fucking Deliverance.
And squeal.
Squeal.
You squeal
Wee.
horse.
I love that movie. Love that scene.
It's a really fucked up scene.
So Richard,
was your favorite part in that scene when most of your family were doing the banjo scene? Dude, is it even Stevens? The kid,
the movie Beans.
Maybe it's just that kid reminds me of the fucking banjo kid from
Beans
that movie.
Does.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
It's like the squinty eye thing.
I feel bad for Beans. Like, I mean, he's probably a cool dude, but I think he works at like Sam's Club, and he just is really. Time has fucking beat him in.
There's nothing wrong with that, dude. He probably got some membership and everything.
That's true.
Yeah.
But he looks fucking
deals.
rough. You want to see what he looks like?
Yeah, sure. Dude, the guys I work with, they recently watched that Bird Box stuff. And like, so they kept like, this is just The Happening, pretty much. Yeah. And I was like, dude, The Happening was so fucking funny.
Yeah, The Happening. Well, yeah, but just because of Mark Wahlberg.
Dude, the fucking shotgun part with Beans, where the shotgun comes out the little crack in the window right in the kid's fucking face.
Yeah, that part's
dude, that's the funniest part of any movie ever.
All right, guys, I want everyone right now to Google Beans Even Stevens today. And then you're going to see a picture of him in a purple shirt and a tie. And right now I'm showing Tim and Toof this picture, and this is their reaction. So follow along.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man. Holy shit. Look at that fake fucking smile.
Time. If you cover up some of them, he looks like fucking Mr. Noodle from Sesame Street a little bit.
Doesn't he kind of look like, I mean, this sounds kind of mean, but like if you put that guy in like a coffin and put a smile on his face, he almost looks dead there.
He does.
Yeah, that was like his funeral.
Tim, he died years ago.
He died doing what he loves, being Beans.
He's smiling like I do when all my family asks me how I'm doing at Thanksgiving dinner. Good. Everything's good. Just a smile.
I don't know if he works at Sam's Club or not. I don't know if he does. I think he might, but I don't want to be wrong. And
well, hey, if you're wrong, then I don't want to be right.
I mean, if he does, like, maybe he'll get like some money since we mentioned him on here, like some royalties.
All right, guys, it wasn't Sam's Club. He is working as Santa's helper at a mall.
Oh, dude, I hope he does like the fucking bad Santa type shit, but he's the elf.
Someone better fuck this guy. He better be getting fucked.
I'll do it.
I hope he
does. Yeah,
does.
Kev, I think life's doing that to him.
He's like, yeah, man, I could really use a good fucking right now. And he pulls up his fushigi ball. He's like, oh, yeah, even. Nope.
Well, that means at least he got away with murder.
Dude, whatever his real name is, type that into Google. Like, type in Beans, then type in fushigi ball.
So, alrighty, where were we? So the police learned that even though Richard presented himself as a, quote, prosperous executive, it turns out that some of his companies were in a little bit of trouble. And he was said to have been telling colleagues, family, and friends about all these great deals that he had in the works for impresario. However, none of them knew like anything like about what he was talking about.
Yeah.
So it sounded like he was making up a lot of these big impressive deals that weren't exactly true.
Yeah.
And people thought that it seemed kind of odd or funny that he was mentioning those various deals when others, like such as his coworkers and people that worked for him, like had no idea what he's talking about.
Absolutely.
And another discovery, perhaps the most important one by the police, was that while Richard was in Good Hart, he had left the business in the hands of Joseph Scalaro III, which was a 30-year-old employee of his, as well as a U.S. Army veteran that was listed as an assistant to the publisher. So Richard Scalaro, I think is how you pronounce it.
Mm.
It just reminds me of Ghostbusters 2, when that judge is like, it's the Scolari brothers! And it also turns out that Joseph, he had been embezzling money from Richard, and not just a little bit either. We're talking about $60,000, which I believe is like the amount in 1968, which today would be $432,943 today.
Jesus Christ.
So this is kind of odd. Not only was Joseph embezzling all this money, but according to Joseph, right before the Robisons left and were killed, Richard had granted the control of the company to him. And of course, this is all just according to Joseph. And he's like, yeah, Richard granted me control before he left. And since he got fucking murdered, no one could prove that happened or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice.
And it turns out that just hours before the Robisons were believed to have been murdered, Joseph and Richard had a phone call. And this is over because Richard was said to have found out about the embezzlement, so he was calling up Joseph and talking to him about it. And they say that, of course, Richard was pretty fucking pissed off about it all. And this next part isn't proven, but it is a theory by the police. But police theorize that during that phone call, Richard revealed to Joseph that he knew about the embezzlement, and then the police believe that Joseph panicked, took off to the cabin from Detroit, which would have been like 4 hours or so away.
Yeah.
And another important note here, Joseph, he had been to that cabin before. So the cabin
knew where it was.
is in a secluded area, so someone that knew him couldn't just go find him there unless it was someone that knew him that had been there before.
Absolutely.
So the police think that he drove up to the cabin in Good Hart and then quickly killed the entire family before any of them could come forward with the truth on his embezzling crime, which is a fine and dandy theory, but none of that is proven. But that's not all the evidence we have either. On June 25th, the believed and accepted day of the murders, friends, family, and business associates of Joseph Scalero were unable to reach him and were out of contact with him for 12 hours.
Oh, shit.
And his wife told detectives that was the first time in 6 years of marriage that Scalero had not called or turned up in time for dinner.
Dude, if your own wife doesn't believe you, holy shit.
So,
Looks like we don't need a second theory.
well, let's not let's not count our chickens before they hatch here, Ma.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no Bigfoot in Michigan.
Take that back. You know, for the longest time, I didn't know the Upper Peninsula was a thing. I thought Michigan was literally just the fucking glove. I didn't know that other part. They never taught me that in school, that Michigan had that other part. I really didn't learn that till a couple of years ago.
Spence goes there all the fucking
Why
time.
the fuck do we even want that part?
I don't know.
Like, let's just Canada can just have it.
Doesn't matter. Give them all they want. They're still going to get their asses beat by the Ohio State Buckeyes.
That's right.
I don't even know who our coach is. Do we have a head coach right now?
No.
Kitchens. He's just doing Browns,
doing both.
Browns in Ohio State.
Now, Joseph, he had given the police some alibis, and the police checked those alibis out, and they couldn't find anyone to support or back up the story that he was giving and to where he was all day.
Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag Wildman. And his alibi and where he was all day. Do we have any guesses? Where do you think Joseph Scalero III would have been that entire day?
Watching Bordello Blood in the theater.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
I got two.
Yeah.
Looking for land to buy or buying a car.
That's pretty good. Pretty good guesses.
Yeah, those are both right.
Well, according to the book we mentioned earlier by Marty Link, Joseph Scalero said that he had been at a plumbing convention and had been speaking with clients all day. Talk about a fucking boring-ass day. I would have taken myself out if that's what I was doing all
any
day.
of the people there wear belts?
I was going to say, so much plumber butt going on.
Yeah, dude, there had to been. How did it just smell like ass?
Are you sure this was a plumber convention for like water plumbing and stuff? Like, or are you sure this wasn't just a bunch of guys trying to create a new color purple?
Holy shit.
So the police, they took the next step, and they issued Joseph 2 lie detector tests, which he fucking bombed and failed miserably. So he took the third, and any guesses on what happened during his third lie detector test?
9/11.
He pulled he pulled the what's the lady from the last episode? The stepmom?
Oh, Terry.
He pulled a Terry and walked out.
Close. The results were inconclusive.
No, shit.
So now let's get back to the murder crime scene. The police here found shell casings to 2 guns, one they believe was a rifle and one that was a pistol. And here's a quote. The only piece of physical evidence besides the shell casings was a bloody footprint, and it was so important that the police got a saw and cut the floor that this bloody footprint was on. And this is all from that same book I mentioned. It was obviously left by the killers, so they checked all of Joe Scalero's shoes and they found a match. Unfortunately, the pair of boots that made the footprint were brand new and never been worn, but they matched perfectly, and now we learn that Joe Scalero was known to buy 2 of everything. 2 suits, 2 shoes, 2 guns, and he probably had a pair of boots that he had 2 of, but he got rid of the pair he wore the night of the murders. This is all according to the guy who wrote that book. So
yeah, it kind of seems like
a lot of this,
you're speculating.
yeah,
kinda.
a lot of it is like circumstantial evidence and speculating.
Absolutely.
I mean, it could add up and it could be true. I mean, it doesn't look good for this guy as it is. But as far as that, I don't know.
Yeah, you can't convict him on it.
And another quote from him, they learned that he owns the gun that is the exact replica of the gun that they believe killed the Robisons, an AR-7. They determined that his AR-7 doesn't match, but what they do find out is where he likes to target shoot. They visit the place downstate, comb the area with metal detectors, and they find shell casings. They turn them into the crime lab, and they match.
Hell yeah.
Is this all still the author guy saying this, though?
Yes, but we will mention a little bit about those casings later.
Okay.
And now as far as the gun information goes, I did pull this next part from Wiki, and I know a lot of people don't like to use Wiki, and usually I don't even check the Wikipedia page when it comes to cases, but since it was all like gun talk and I don't really know anything about guns a whole lot, I pulled it from there. So, in regards to the two guns, specifically a 25 caliber Jetfire automatic Beretta and a 22 caliber AR-7 Armalite semi-automatic rifle, the 4 22 caliber spent shells found at the cabin murder scene were forensically compared by their ballistic markings to several 22 caliber evidence shells known to have been fired by Scalero at a family firing range in 1967, at which time Scalero used his missing 22 caliber Armalite rifle. The two sets of shells were found to be an exact match. Although Scalero claimed to have given this weapon away, a neighbor had told the police that he had seen the 22 caliber AR-7 in Scalero's house not long before the Robisons were killed. So we have a 25 caliber Beretta automatic pistol and a 22 caliber Armalite AR-7 rifle, and they say that AR-7 rifle is an uncommon gun. I have no idea because I don't know jack shit about guns.
Damn, I feel like that's almost enough to like convict.
And records obtained by police, they show Scalero had purchased 2 of each, though he later claimed that he'd given one of the pistols to Robison and then given both rifles away. And I also remember reading, and I don't know if this is true, that he said he gave that pistol to Richard, and whenever they searched like the Robinsons' their actual home, they didn't find that pistol anywhere.
Yeah.
So this guy's pretty much saying like, oh, I just fucking gave those guns away.
I mean, yeah.
Which is pretty fucking sketchy.
Yeah, it's an easy thing to say.
So whenever they searched that shooting range in 1969, they learned that shooting range was owned by Scalero's father-in-law, and the shell casings that were found for the AR-7, they had exactly matched those found at the crime scene, and that's according to a state police lab report. And then the police were like, well, that's it. That's all we need. This is the evidence needed. And we have this rifle that's not a very common rifle, and we have the same casings at the murder scene as well as at the shooting range that his father-in-law owns. So that should be enough. We should be able to bring him in for this.
And then
whenever they question him, and he mentions that the police go to talk to him about those guns, and they couldn't find the 25 caliber Beretta, and Scalero said like, yeah, I used to have one, but I gave it away. And
then the Red Hot Chili Peppers made a song after it.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
It was hot now, 25 caliber. Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Shot that family, then I beat him with the hammer. Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Holy shit.
I hate that song. I like Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I don't like that song.
Yeah, it's probably my least favorite song from them.
So, however, all of this is still circumstantial evidence, and the more and more the police work to try and get enough evidence to bring Joseph in, they never had enough to get Emmett County to accept the charges to bring him in. On December 17th, 1969, the police presented their case to the jurisdiction prosecution. Emmett County prosecutor Donald C. Noggle decided not to bring charges against Scalero, citing the 2 missing murder weapons and the absence of his fingerprints from the crime scene.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Is it Donald C. Noggle, or is it like SEA, like Sea Turtle Noggle?
It's Noggle is how he spells his last name.
The C's the middle name.
His son got like a little bit popular, like not like super popular, as a midget wrestler, Horned Snoggle.
So yeah, they tried to bring the case to the Emmett County prosecutor, like, hey, they have all the evidence they brought to him, but they're like, well, that's circumstantial. We don't have any real evidence linking him, such as fingerprints or anything like that.
I feel like that's enough, but yeah.
So the case just grew cold. There was no other evidence, no witnesses, nothing that would help them out. And then a few years later in 1973, with Emmett County not willing to move forward, Oakland County decided that they would be the ones to bring justice to the family. And prosecutor L. Brooks Patterson, he said they were going to charge Joseph with murder, 6 charges of first-degree murder. But no arrest warrants were ever issued, and soon it was believed that Scolaro had maybe heard from a little bird that the police were going to try and arrest him. What do you guys think happens next?
Autoerotic asphyxiation.
All right, that's a good guess.
Yeah.
Click, boom. Suicide himself.
All right, let's see. March 8th, 1973, police were called to Scolaro's office where his body was found dead.
Ooh, fuck, yeah.
With a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
#Wildman.
#Wildman. Next to his body, he did have a typewritten suicide note. In it, it said, "I am a liar, a cheat, and a phony." And he included a list of people that he was said to have swindled in multiple business schemes. So all the people he's stolen from, he had listed.
Okay.
And he also put, "They call me a killer, they call me a sinner, and they call me a whore."
Oh, fuck yes, dude.
God forbid you ever had to walk a mile in my shoes. And then you really might know what it's like to sing the blues.
Oh, I fucking hate that song.
And also at the bottom of his letter, he had a handwritten note that he said that he addressed to his mother that said, "I had nothing to do with the Robisons. I'm a liar, but not a murderer. I'm sick and scared. God and everyone, please forgive me." He then committed suicide with a .25 caliber Beretta again. I didn't.
He did it twice.
The first time he came back,
Yeah.
someone, we don't know who, got the Dragon Balls.
It has something to do with Beetlejuice, but they brought him back.
But
He woke up in the pet cemetery.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So he committed suicide with a .25 caliber Beretta, which was the second gun that was used to kill the Robisons.
You fucking did it. You just didn't want your mom to know, asshole.
And during the years of 69 to 73, he is adamantly denying all the allegations, saying that he had nothing to do with the murders and it wasn't him. And he claims he was innocent the entire time. The cottage shortly after, in March 1969, was torn down because they said it fucking smelled so goddamn bad.
Yeah, there's
they
no way to
couldn't get
that
the
out of there.
smell out or anything. Plus, no one wanted to fucking move in there.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
It wasn't because of the dead bodies, though. Like, they've already cleaned those up and everything. It was just, I think that was the first known recorded queef. And it just stunk up the walls that bad.
Yeah, I thought I aired it out, but I mean, yeah, I couldn't get it out of there.
Like, "Oh my God, it's this fucking cabin. It fucking reeks. It's so bad. We can't sell it. Like, what is causing that stink?" They open it up and just Joe Dirt 2 on DVD is in the floor.
Shit, fuck yeah.
What about the reason he was named after this? Like, the head star of 24, when he was born, his mom just pussy farted all over, and she's like, "What do you want to name your son?" She's like, "Queefer."
So there are a couple other suspects. One of them being the caretaker, Chauncey Bliss.
That's what I thought you were going to say originally.
They looked at him because he was the one that found the bodies. And, of course, he knew the Robisons that were living there. And being the man that built the cabin, he knew the entire layout of the cabin, the surrounding area. But they didn't have a motive at all. Like, why the fuck would he just kill these people? And also, the only reason he went to that house to check on him is because one of the neighbors contacted him to do it.
Yeah.
And the only motive that they could come up with, which is just unbelievably bad, is they said that whenever he lost his son in that motorcycle accident, which was the last, like whenever Richard came over to like talk to him and like give him money for flowers and stuff, their motive was that by him coming over and just kind of giving him money and being like, I don't know, they say like he felt like he was slighted by this. And like
enough
angry
to kill his whole family.
and angry with the way that he reacted and responded to the death of his son. So that's why he killed that entire family.
No.
It's a fucking horrible thing.
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
Not at all. And also, Chauncey Bliss ended up having a really hot daughter named Alexa.
Oh, shit.
Alexa Bliss is so
Fuck
hot.
yeah, she's cute. And then another suspect is a guy by the name of John Norman Collins. And he was a man that's believed to have done a series of murders between 1967 and 1969 in southeastern Michigan. However, his victims were all teenage girls, and he would like abduct them, beat them, rape them, murder them, all that sick shit.
Jesus.
And he would get convicted, but only of one murder, and that was in 1970. And some people link him to this because they're like, well, there was a serial killer in Michigan during that time, so maybe it was him.
The MO is like way different.
Yeah, none of that really makes sense. However, this guy, they did say that he went to college with Richie, the son. Like he was at the same college and they knew of each other. Wow. I don't think they were friends, but there's just no motive. That doesn't really make sense why.
That just seems like a coincidence. I wonder if at that time was he even a killer yet, or like did he end up being one like later on?
Well, they said 67 to 69.
Oh shit! So yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Damn.
But that doesn't. Well, actually, I don't know. Well, yeah, I think it would have to be. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the MO doesn't match, and just because you're a killer in a state doesn't mean you killed everyone in that state that was murdered during that time.
Yeah, Andrew hasn't killed everybody.
No, not we killed him though.
Yeah,
so
we had to take him out.
But I do think that is a better theory than saying Chauncey did it because he felt slighted.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Chauncey didn't do it.
So one last thing here. After the suicide note of Joseph Scalaro, the investigation ended and the case just became inactive. So to the police, they never really thought of this case as a mystery. They felt they had their man the entire time. They just unfortunately didn't have any evidence to put him away. So as far as suspects go, or who you think did this, do you have any thoughts on this, on who you think might have done it? Like, was it one of the people we named or just someone out there that we didn't mention?
I mean, I hope it was the guy that killed himself, Scalaro, or whatever the fuck his name was. I hope it was him, because then, I mean, didn't really get justice, but, I mean, dude killed himself, so I feel like it probably was him. He just took himself out like the warden from Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my guess.
Toof?
Mine is yes. It was all of them.
They worked together?
His note said he is not a murderer.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he can't hire someone to murder.
He wasn't the trigger man.
So he hired someone who has just as much insight as him. Chauncey. Well, Chauncey's like, well, then they're going to pin it on me, so I need an alibi. So he got a hold of the other Michigan killer and told him, you can kill him, and since you're a weird child molester too, you can fuck the wife if you want to.
All right.
And then everything became linked together through the book.
No.
The guy's name Link.
Yeah.
Looks like he was the missing link.
Oh shit, man.
Missing link found. Is that the name of that ICP album?
Oh.
I think it is. It's the missing link. I think one of them's found. I don't know. God. I mean, Joseph Scalaro, he's just the only one that fits for this. There's a lot of fucked up stuff that he's doing. Like, none of his alibis make sense, and he's always lying. He does come out in that note and say, like, oh, I robbed and cheated, did all this shit. Like, I'm pretty much Eddie Guerrero, but I didn't fucking kill that family. Unfortunately, it looks like he did.
Yeah, I feel like he did.
I mean, I'm gonna say, I think that he probably did do it, but I will say, like, there's a small chance maybe he didn't. And if he didn't, that is unfortunate because, I mean, everyone thinks he did it. Then
so that just goes back to Terry from the last episode.
There's just too much pointing to him.
Yeah.
Like, there's just too much shit that's pointing to him that doesn't make sense.
And he's dead. He killed himself. So, honestly, it sucks that if he didn't do it, it just gets put on him.
Yeah.
And you really don't look for the killer anymore because you're like, no, it was just that guy.
Yeah, there's just too much pointing to him. And, like, everyone in Michigan, they don't take this as a mystery. Everyone just believes he did it. They just didn't have the evidence to put him away.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's everything on this case. Do you guys have any comments or anything you want to say about it before we jump into our closing shit?
I think it was him, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
So, alrighty, before we do our closing stuff, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has been listening and leaving us iTunes reviews. That really helps us out a lot. If everyone listening right now could do us two big favors. One, if you haven't left us a review on iTunes, if you could do that, please. That really helps us out. We really want to try and crack the top 200 in comedy this year. We probably won't because I think our peak was like mid 300 and something. But you never know. We really want to try and make that happen. And also, everyone listening, if you could share this podcast with just one person, either on like Twitter or Facebook, or just show it to someone, that would really be super awesome and rad and help us out a lot as well. And if you want to contact us and reach us, we can be reached at Brotherscommon.place at gmail.com. That is our email address. And you can also find us at Brotherscommon.place, and that will send you straight to our Spreaker website, which has all of our episodes and all that fun stuff. If you want to mail us something, you can send us something at P.O. Box 31, Nova, Ohio 44859. And we did have a prize giveaway like 2 months ago, and it was a complete fucking disaster. I just want to say I'm so sorry to Chloe in Canada. I have mailed this goddamn Demon Wind DVD like 5 times now. It keeps getting sent back. I think it's finally okay now. The first time I mailed it, they sent it back, and like I had to fill out a customs thing, which I didn't even think about, so that was my fault. Yeah. And then they changed the pricing on the shipping. And so hopefully that makes it out to you soon. I'm very sorry.
I mean, it is a copy of Demon Wind though. Like you might just not be allowed to send that.
It's like
that is pretty much like sending Anthrax at this point.
That's true. So maybe you don't want. I don't know why you'd want. Yeah. It's a Demon Wind DVD of all that we all signed.
I mean,
even Andrew signed it. I got him to sign it too.
Oh fuck. Okay, yeah, you may want it just for that, but that'd be the only thing. I wouldn't even watch the movie.
Just so you can match up the fingerprints and signature of all the other killers.
That's right.
So I am sorry it's taken so long, but I really meant to, like, we had good intentions behind it. Like, we really want to send it out to you quicker. So hopefully that gets to you soon.
Yeah, we watched Cruel Intentions, like, the whole time.
Yeah, and not just the scene of Sarah Michelle Gellar.
And the other chick making out.
Yeah, that was the only scene, yeah.
I mean...
We all jacked it.
I like the song from it.
And then Tooth grabbed our dicks like chopsticks.
Yeah, he's not doing that right now.
Oh, yeah, that fucking song is good.
Bittersweet Symphony.
Yeah. Also, yeah, add us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that fun shit. We have a Patreon page. If you enjoy the show, you can help us out. You can support us on there. I'll mail you some stickers, and I'll probably write you a thank you card. We have bonus episodes, and I do have a decent amount of stuff I need to upload there still. Like, we have some songs and some other stuff, so we'll be putting that on there.
Is there any differences in the $1 and $5 Patreon?
No. We have a $1 and a $5. The only difference is the $5, we give you a shout-out on here. That's the only difference, because I wanted everyone to get all the shit for cheap. But we have some awesome people that give us more than that they don't have to. They just support the show, and they like it. And
we love you guys for that. We really do.
Yeah, that's super fucking awesome. And then we also have a Threadless page where you can buy merchandise if you want to. And I don't know the exact websites off the top of my head. I do post them in the show notes. But it's like brotherscommonplace.threadless.com or threadless.brotherscommonplace.com or patreon.com/thebrotherscommonplace, something like that. But yeah, you can check in the show notes and find it. All right, Tim.
No, for sure. Like, anybody that's doing anything, it's not just the Patreon, you know, even taking the second to give us a 5-star review. I mean, we love you guys for that. Because really this is just us hanging out with friends and like cracking jokes and stuff. So we definitely love, you know, that you guys like that and that you support us for that for sure. And we definitely want to do like more like, you know, things for the Patreon, stuff like that. So give us like, you know, movie reviews and all that, you know, movies that you would want us to do or topics that you want us to do. Yeah, we love the suggestions. We've done a couple, you know, recently.
Yeah, we started off doing some requests. We have a lot of requests.
Yeah.
So
yeah, keep them coming. You know, we love it. And that makes our jobs easier because then we don't have to look shit up. You know, we just this is what this person wanted us to do. And fuck, we've had some good topics like the Scream killing one.
Yeah,
that was a fucking crazy topic.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. So you know, keep it coming. Like I all the topics that you guys have suggested have been awesome. So yeah, keep the topic suggestions, the movie suggestions, all of it. Keep it coming.
Yeah, I didn't mention the guy that suggested our last one, the Kyron Horman one,
which is a great episode. Yeah,
JT Thompson. I believe that's his name. If I'm getting it wrong, I'm sorry. I didn't mention him in that episode. But yeah, thank you for that suggestion, that request. That was a really good one. He also mentioned another one, and I looked it up. It's pretty fucked up. It's a good one. I don't know if we'll do it right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a good one too.
Yeah, keep them all coming.
Yeah.
We love that for sure.
And also, we don't have an honorary brother. I was taking a break so I don't have to keep looking at iTunes reviews. Because as lame as it sounds, I get fucking bummed and kind of like, I get down looking at them sometimes whenever I see like negative ones. So I need to be better at that, but I'm kind of a bitch when it comes to that stuff. So I will say for Honorary Brother of the Week, though, let's go ahead and give that to Not. because Nod has been sending us some fucking amazing pictures on Facebook that she's been making. They're hilarious. I think my favorite is the one that's float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin.
Then it has Macaulay Culkin getting stung by bees in My Girl.
Dude, I saw that at work, and like I just, because my phone went off, and I randomly picked up and just started loosening it. Everybody's like, "What are you doing?" Like, I can't explain this. There's no way to explain that.
And then the fucking Dark Lotus one was fucking super good too. So we still will pick honorary brothers from time to time. It's not going to be every week. And we're either going to do it by picking iTunes reviews, like people that leave us a 5-star review, or we'll be picking it from people that email us or just leave us funny shit. I need to find it. Someone left us a super funny thing where it was in the style of Ignition by R. Kelly.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I don't remember if it was an email or what. I remember it was super fucking funny and I laughed.
Oh, I love that.
Let me see if I screenshotted it.
Also, Daniel, we love you.
Daniel watched Chili Cartel. So thank you, Daniel, for fucking...
Daniel.
Yeah, we've had a couple people that watched Chili Cartel. So thank you, everyone that watched that. Daniel, always hope you're doing well, brother. I love you, man.
And hopefully you guys are still fans after you're watching Chili Cartel. It was an amazing video, by the way.
Found it. From Flightless on Instagram. This is another honorary brother. We'll just read this because it's funny. So from Flightless on Instagram. Every time I send an iTunes review, it never goes through, so here you go. I'm mainly writing this so that I can share my joke. With the recent news of R. Kelly, I guess he'll have to change his song to It's the Remix Ignition, All the Girls Are Missing, Mother's Calling the Police, Got the Cops in Here Searching.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sipping on Coke and rum, this Colt's just for fun.
Fuck yes, man.
So, yeah. And he put, anyways, I appreciate the shitty humor. Subreddit of the week hasn't showed up in a while. Maybe do our incest relationships. Okay, so that's this guy.
Dude, it's that same
He's
guy.
asked us a few
Holy
times
shit,
to
that's
do
a
that.
high school kid.
And you should cover more cults. And I'm not just talking about R. Kelly's. Hashtag Wildman. So, yeah, cults are always really good.
Yeah.
The only problem is a lot of the big cults have been covered a lot.
Yeah.
And I try to find like some of the smaller ones. But
Anthill Kids was fucking gross.
the cults always take me the longest to research because I usually find a documentary and some other stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we do need to get a cult one soon. So,
yeah.
All right, Toof, do you want to hit us with some words of wisdom, my sexy lumberjack bearded boy?
Oh, Toof, you're so cute.
Toof, you are just fucking turning me on today, Toof.
Look how cute he is. Look how cute he is. It's like the end of My Girl over here.
Damn, Jeremiah, I want you to spread me like a bad rumor, boy. Toof is just stone cold, not laughing or even acknowledging any of this.
Dude, just thinking.
Don't you fake laugh at me,
Jeremiah. Just thinking of those words of wisdom.
You didn't
though,
want to do it. I get it. You didn't want to. You didn't want this. It's not the first time you've hurt my feelings on the podcast.
Toof.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Jeremiah with words of wisdom.
So, even though Andrew's not on the podcast, I try and like get him involved in like at least helping distribute like propaganda of the Brothers Commonplace. So we're like, man, like we've already done like porn websites, glory holes, but like we need to go places where like they don't like really have electricity and stuff like that, or like they don't partake in electronics.
Yeah.
So we went to a monastery. There was a bunch of like priests and monks and nuns there, and so me and Andrew would like. We do the holy thing and, like, you know, fuck these nuns.
Yeah,
we'd have sex with the nuns and, like, get them to, like, our personalities and stuff. And then we'd, like, tell them we listen to the podcast and everything. So, like, get them to listen. But, so some of the nuns, like, they were freaky and stuff. So, like, you know what? You know, like, we know what your game is. We're like, what? We're talking about, like, we know you're in that podcast and you're just trying to spread, like, you know, more stuff about you. You want us to listen, don't you? I was like, yeah. She's like, all right then. Well, for you to get the pleasure of those 5-star reviews from us, we need to get the pleasure from you. So me and Andrew would have to put our whole fist in their pussy, and they'd make us sing, "Hey soul sister, hey soul fister." And then they didn't like that, so me and Andrew have to sing the other one. Hey, sister, soul fista. We put in that whole sister.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So, we got some more listeners.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I feel like that's the only reason we have listeners.
And
Yeah.
for all the listeners that are wondering, yeah, they all have hairy bushes.
Oh, nice, dude. That's how I like them, dude.
Prove it.
I love when my girl's fucking beaver looks like the side of Gallagher's head.
Dude, when Andrew had his fist in that fucking nun's hairy pussy, he's like, look at it. I look like a plumber trying to reach in a drain to get all this hair out.
His hand came out looking like Merv's fucking glove when they became the Sticky Bandits.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
They do it to my dad, and they just pull out a bunch of fucking cigarette butts and then loser scratch-off tickets.
No, they're winner ones because he knows that's the one place you won't go.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Wow. I like how we looked at each other.
Alrighty, well, thank you, everyone, for listening. Be good.
Stay safe.
And laugh at the dark stuff.
Hashtag Wildman.
Hashtag wild women.
Ooh. I like how we always act surprised at that.
I know. Hashtag T-Bro Nutsack.
Hashtag Wild America.
Oh, good movie.
Hashtag me too.
Oh,
Holy
you looked that
shit.
up and it's just a bunch of people you fucking molested.
So it's just a picture of me a bunch. But I always have a thumbs up.
Hashtag thank you, Mark.
Hashtag Popeyes.
Hashtag boy pussies.
Oh, fuck yeah, boy pussies for sure. We get into boy pussies.
I've got the greatest nipples in my school. Everybody knows that they look so good. Coming at the swimming pool, I got the greatest nipples in my school, yeah.
This month, get a 5-quart jug of Napa Full Synthetic Motor Oil plus a Napa Platinum Oil Filter for $21.98. That's a pretty unbelievable deal. But trust us, it's totally real, but only for a limited time. So get Napa Full Synthetic and a Napa Platinum Oil Filter for $21.98 today. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know-How.
Napa Know-How.
General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer ends 4/30/19.
It's time to break the cycle of waste and mess. Time to stop accepting that the way things have been done are the way they should be done. Control-Alt-Delete everything you thought you knew about how to period. We're flipping the script, we're throwing out the book, we're challenging the period status quo. The Diva Cup is eco-friendly, reusable, and offers up to 12 hours leak-free protection. So what are you waiting for? Join the inner revolution with the Diva Cup. The Diva Cup is used for menstrual flow only. Always read and follow the user guide.